Hello. Hello, 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 my friends. How are you today? Welcome, welcome, welcome to my blog today. Boy, won't be no. Urinini. Utinini. Anati my bed. Yeah. How's everyone? How's your evening? How's your morning? How's your afternoon? Wherever you're watching from. I wanted to do a brief live video today regarding what we've seen in Kalangala, the by-elections going on, and a few other things. How are you doing? I hope you've had a good day. I have. I'm ordered utinining anati mabe. Awai ka bi na mot woman knock. Yeah. Ucho mabe angi ni chao kono dong peng road we nyan chara para chel gini pario. Yeah, it's about morning somewhere in Uganda especially. I wanted to come and give a few highlights about a few things that are happening. One of them is especially the most important, the election in Kalangala, the by-elections in Kalangala, after the Member of Parliament, our Member of Parliament for National Unity Platform, Miss Nachimuli, mysteriously passed away. She was obviously one of those very vocal, very empowered. She actually reminded me of Nevanda, a very, very outspoken, brilliant, steadfast young lady. But unfortunately, they got to her, and she's no longer here. So we're looking to fill in those shoes with our great, great young, vibrant member, Namala. And we're hoping for the very best, as you've seen the overwhelming turnout of people from Kalangala who want change and want Namala. But obviously, we always have the same enemies, always looking to rig elections, change results, do malpractices, fight, kill, whatever they do. The same NRM group, the same behaviors, anywhere you go, whether it's across the Lake Victoria to the island of Kalangala, or to the deserts of Karamoja, or to the flatlands of Acholi, or to the far east Elgin, same behaviors they do all the time. Welcome everyone. So that's one of my main areas of focus today. Marwon awachi kabien ka lok kom kui matika teme Kalangala ni. Pange ka ngeo kama Kalangala tie bot Uganda ma ingolu kulu beri wai kai bichar pakwach. Ingeo kere yero kere ferry mechar pakwach. Eni bane titung central. Ento ero gene meli mechero Kalangala uberu kama kilwoni island ti di Lake Victoria ki come. Down ma pol ti beru kono. Chi Kalangala kono waberu ki MP ma kilwoni Nachimuli. O biberu MP ma okaro. Ene kui mo karo enene doma cheleni. Me doma me mwara libario ki peru bicheleni. Ubi karo uberu MP. Chi Nachimuli jo pa NRM ge gu yenyu yo men nong me kwanyu kwane ko chi kwane bana ubi ren ada ko pa Nachimuli ren yo ma pekin yang ma be Nachimuli chero ni chere oriat I operation mati very very my ma pe gene operation ma pe bori oriat bana ni en me fibroid ma dano wing ti kere ma duantane I chere oriat ki kwanyu en fibroid du nge chawa di no a chawa wat unyo procedure mo kana ketemo ya mer be bori oriat ento Nachimuli po kati makwo ki theater oriat ene bene pero oriat en kuri joni ci to pa Nachimuli beru gina peken yang pangyo ka wu po down makilwoni Nebanda yang beru MP ma beru wai bulu no ento nebanda oberu dano mano wa yape ma wiyo yapa de da makatika lore parliament ko nego dano neno no logo ma no logo ma par pe dano ma luenyo pe dano ma kama en ake ie nebanda eno topa nebanda uberu kimino poison beri way kunyoni da logo logo to ken nebanda kimino yat poison nebanda aki parliament beri parliament matika lok cha biero me dicheng by kanya ocha bungwen nebanda no do to kino nebanda to dano ma kiloni Chris Bariomunsi ena yeki or ni uchero chitim gene postmortem oberu test ma kitimo la chien kangar mo to kichero ki yenyu ngo to pangar mo ni ngo mo kelu to en pangata enini teketer jam gene ma gikom nebanda me apima Chris Bariomunsi utime kere tata kenyu pian ember oberu jogi ya ini ano joni kita gin tiu kere gin karma no Museveni gimiero temo gimo no go yubo stage magin en miero wako kiye aki ya chaki wa ya giki en ne liel pa jomo kana ki gwaga ni lumon gwaga liel pa jomo kana pian ibuni an no pe ki yire down ni anuni you know that is how bad these people are. I'm speaking and actually I'm saying that Mrs. Nachimuli reminded me about Nebanda quite a bit because Nebanda, I was in Uganda, I think it was between 2011 and 2013. Nebanda's death was quite mysterious. She was on the floor of Parliament at about 1 p.m. speaking and, as always, challenging policies, speaking about our people and all these things. By around 3 o'clock, Nebanda was dead. Everyone was taken by surprise. And at the time that, everyone is wondering, they're in shock about this, that, and the other, Nebanda, the government apparently came up with having a post-mortem done. And this post-mortem thing, tissues were taken from her. Chris Bariomunsi was the minister in charge of that at that time. He played around with the whole thing. And obviously, the post-mortem results came back saying, well, she died of whatever the usual, a natural cause, which was not the case. The same thing happened to our dear Nachimuli from Kalangala. And so now we're hoping to have Miss Namala become the next elected member of parliament representing the NUP from Kalangala. As you've seen, there's been lots of ballot staffing, lots of rigging, lots of violence. I've seen videos where people were beaten. You can hear in the videos how they're hitting people. They have shot live bullets at people. They have done everything possible to try to disperse crowds so they can just present what they have, that they've packaged, sealed, or whatever, so they can announce their NRM opponent. I said in a few, maybe texts ago on Facebook, that the person who is making it, by all means, that an NRM person is elected has been Salim Saleh. He said, whatever you guys do, make sure you pronounce an NRM candidate in Kalangala. But by show of everyone, so many people have turned out to vote for National Unity Platform. Joel Senyonyi was not allowed to go there. This morning when he tried to get there, the ship left, or the ferry left from the dock, and midway going to Kalangala, whoever was steering the ship was ordered, or the ferry was ordered to return Joel and everybody else just to go and offload Joel Senyonyi so that he doesn't get to Kalangala. So no matter what they do, this is common, it's not unknown, it's not strange to Ugandans. All of this gets publicity. All of this, adds to their books. Adds to their books. As much as they try to clean up, these guys, Sheikh Chiti said something really interesting. He said, despite the fact about what they're doing to us, God is doing something amongst the people of Uganda, is building strength in them, is getting them more angry, is getting them more to a point where they'll have no choice but to do something about bringing about change. And in the midst of that, he is doing worse to those people who are hurting Ugandan people. Imagine this. I mentioned something about how these Museveni people plan every stage of what they're planning to do from start to end. Just like when Nebanda was in parliament and there was a plot to do something to her, and they did it, and it ended up with Chris Variomunsi not producing results that were genuine, or not even concluding the facts of her postmortem results. It is the same thing, the same reasoning that happens where the graves of certain people are guarded till today. Reason being that the people who are supposed to be buried in those graves were not buried in there. I sound quite strange, but there's some things that I've learned that to myself, sometimes I debate and say, really, if I say these things, are people even going to believe me? But truly, these guys are sick in the things that they do and have done to people. My God. I mean, there's no limits of evil that they have performed on people. So we are hoping that the right person, who is Namala for Kalangala, will be announced the winner. Because in some polling stations, the rigged NRM names are more than the actual population of certain areas where, you know, these reruns are going on. So we hope for the best. You know, even if they plan evil, we cannot not have democracy. We cannot not vote. We cannot not speak up, because it is important for us to show where we stand so that they show where they belong, okay? And so in all these acts, it is clear where other people stand and where these evil people stand. As you've seen, there is no other opposition that was running. This goes to show you how much National Unity Platform is truly the only opposition in Uganda. There is no other opposition. The rest of them are just parading and have maintained Museveni in a sort of democracy to the rest of the world, and yet he plants them to exist for as long as he's in power so that he looks like a democracy. Museveni has not been hit this hard like Bobby Wine has done to him. He will go down to remember that His Excellency Jacob Oulanya, that guy that existed at some point, really figured me out. And so whatever you can do from wherever we are, let's try and do it to bring change, bring about change back home. It's hard, and I know it's hard, especially for people at home, but somehow there's a way you can, manually, somewhere, somehow, you can boycott, you know, you cannot contribute to them economically, you can do, whatever you can do, please do it, okay? Atika wachi, John enini kitima gentemoni, kianmo kana ka logo, kiwi ka kana ka tawa John, da no butami andong toba, inano, ento tempa John enini pegitie ki lewich, petie agirke metem machilo. Petie, jame mogu maguti mo mape petiete bodano duanta ineno duong ento gin ma gin tikate muna kunyoni to twale chalu kui matikate me mogo by elections gi wona nite gi makodano ratatani jame ani wen ginaru ba tika nyoto ne bodjo Uganda ena ye tek twin bien dano ma Uganda obero no liman karma lach jame wen Museveni kai logo ni Museveni ubetiningi ling pay what watien tilo remember go maka logo kedgi put gitwaka Museveni bene pegiro munyang tutwale joma ki gang joma ki northern tie down ma wache petie ngato kenne maromlo no Uganda mape mapatki Museveni weku tempa Museveni motimo kede down gang kono camp ki ngongo gini petie down mo go maperomo ye ni aloga romo timme dok Museveni ke kan ena pela lodge ko inano so anywhere kawa kata kuman me kelu lok mugu machile jamo magente moni may yap wang down wek down ngeni Johnny Karba oh we are pogen mutemo kuman oh gen mutemo kuman what ket we were kama mier we were beriye pien managa watamani Museveni ay dong ruba pol down ke gangkuja ki way wa degla loga ento la loga ni tola timu ba bene par piwu Honorable Jacob Oulanya Center managa yang petie ki teach ma enti mu pi en kane ku bedi chawani Bobby Wine ena e down ma politician ma do losing Germany weng after gange ki kwanyo kon lu tene ki riamo kon lu dago ne ki mer mako ne kon gange ber barak duwe chaga rio ko managa gene ku yutum ineno petie down ma romo peru ni bed gange kita iyo mero Ineno. PM John yu roro ni jali eni ni ba, tika ke la loga tika yapu wangdano, jali eni mier waneno wakwanyo ki kwa. Wakwanyo kwa ne ako, wak je mukene dong, waramu tieko ne kita yi wa mier. Neno. So, I'm saying that there are some parts of the country or the world that still thinks that Museveni is all of that, only because he has hoodwinked Ugandan, or he has made Uganda look like a democracy. People like Vesije, you know, the old opposition is one of the biggest traitors of Ugandans in Uganda. They maintained Museveni in power. They were paid to play this and that. They were advised to do this and that to make and maintain Museveni looking like a democracy. Today, when the drunkard son comes out and says he's going to appoint a leader of opposition, he thinks that he does not understand that we have a new opposition, that we have an opposition whereby the law matters, the constitution matters, that you from PLU that is not registered, that is not a party, that is not an opposition, that is not an NRM, that is not a ruling party, that is run by a CDF, that really is a rebel group, because I think that's what PLU is. It is not anywhere. And for PLU to feel like it has the guts or it has the power to change an opposition is truly false. Let me tell you, an opposition leader in parliament is appointed by the majority of the opposition members of parliament party. So let's say there's 500 members of parliament in Uganda, okay? This past election, I'm sure there are more than that. And the biggest number, obviously, a lot of NRMs were rigged elections for. Let's say there are about 400 members, NRM. Now, that leaves 100 members. In the 100 members, is it possible that maybe there's a larger number of an opposition party, obviously because some opposition parties did not even vote for themselves. They voted for Museveni, Mpuga, Mao. I mean, you know, you wonder why they exist as a opposition. So that leaves National Unity Platform, the second to the NRM, as members of parliament. They are in the opposition and they're the lead number in opposition. That means National Unity Platform is the only party that is allowed to appoint a leader of opposition. And the purpose of a leader of opposition is to be there to form an opposite government, to provide checks and balances on the policies or the runnings of the ruling government. So Muhoozi might not know that because obviously he's drunk 24 hours a day, that a leader of opposition is supposed to be appointed by a majority opposition in parliament. That means only National Unity Platform, only His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu can appoint a leader of opposition into parliament. Now let's speak a little bit about, well, let me translate that first. Lokme leader of opposition dong la mer wota Museveni ukatini umiero NIA ma NT PLU ma PLU pe party ma PLU pe NRM ma PLU pe opposition ni. En macharo ende tia dong kore oni NIA bi yero leader of opposition in parliament. Ento la mer gire no karma loga da kitika tietone no mero ineno. So jali ukati ogoni endong any CDF, any leader of opposition, any leader of PLU, la dit PLU, ende katero ena ede biyero la dit opposition in parliament. Wakati tu ukida la dit opposition in parliament ki yero kere. Ineno kakitika yero MPs ki bolo yidgi kui pole NRM gi kwalo ger kui wanga pol gi kwalo kui wero no gen gi poli parliament manyo te Uganda ka cha kubelchani members ti chok me a bitch we kay kept me a bitch. Okay, so members of wang mati parliament we upo bena ni jomo kene mati opposition gi ti briefcase ke kanba pegi tie en ngara chel mati opposition no ena ye secretary ena ye president ena ye la jwachuria ena ye la dunchoron any party no briefcase basali ro aki bujiri kacha ena chel lipang any ti opposition chia da da ni peti ki candidate mo ke kan mau chung ka mo ke kan manyuti party pa basali ro pebi yero leader of opposition PNN ken ubero en kwang en ken ubero la boy representative kama ka ken manyuti down chal basali ro ki party ne makilwoni gimoni kenini en ni ki kwanya robe na pedo local leader opposition be pemero winyune PN perwate kere so leader of opposition no beru la dit me opposition a group mano dit loyal jo mano ki yero gime biene parliament ke keti kuperichani members ti mia bichko twer beti NRM ti mia ngwen wakwa yeni mia ngwen aya kita dong jo mo kana me opposition ti briefcase ke ken ngara chele president no ena ila jo achuria ena secretary ena treasury en ngara chele ba Johnny anune pegiramon beruki down manoti member of parliament ma ukatiki patigi mechun, okay? Manyutini, yoni no ki kwaro chen, okay. Pati pa mao, jo mo kena chie mo chung mo karo. Eno mao ki kome bene, eno bolo kwiki mo seveni. Kunen la dit pati ne, aya. Pati mo kene, uberu pati pa mpuga. Mpuga bene uberu ki candidates la kirmani kenyo. Ento ene kome bene, ubolo kwiki nga, ki mo seveni. Makun en la dit, beri wachi, 1 ki 1 B ento 1 A meti ena da lo da pa 1 B bane neno ena ye da ena 1 pa wala cho mani mati B ni 1 A ena 1 jalian bane ineno meno kita psychology ne wor kere so jo ma dong no position party gi group no nake no be pego yer down ni aya don wega nga national unity platform ena ye do be party ma pull down mati opposition ochung won ba no na kita national unity platform ti busy kere down mati ye do anta opposition chi wega don en party enu ne ena ye do don mano tie ki down ma duong lo opposition teacher opposition igamente ena ye meneno ki wang mapat ngoma gamente tika timone pien kero mo kene in dana ben anyway ki wachi kero mo kene 2 is better than 1 ni ene anchalu down mano keketi paron pamita watch loka gonna better single nyo ene ki wachi kai tie bun ki ngati moni keketi ngati moni beru ki bunario loyo beru ngara chet pien in romaneno gimon la kirmoni ento ngatu kane ngachani romaneno ngdok mapat bendo kili idea wachine ba gineni ba kuma enini chimbe why oh yeah so teacher opposition ena meneno kilwoni checks and balances meneno ni Museveni ukelu budget weng pole chwalu chane iching job pa Museveni gi opposition don kati wachi pingo peke ketiane mo ki meri aria I budget enini ineno so teacher opposition enu meti kukango ka checking gamente ineno jo matuko dilnge kita checking kere jo mo kana kere tuko ke dila kermani ken meneno ni Uganda eni ma wan wati yeni services nyo teach pagamento o icheng downwing opposition unyo po opposition downwing miero nong mabe en teach pa opposition igamente enu chila mer wota Museveni tika wachuni en donga ye bi wikamoni ki PLU neni kai bini yero leader of opposition kai chibu meno pekita yero opposition beru kere la din opposition ki party mano weko party pa NRM party madong dok mana Mario madano duon ye mana Mario kita na waji kere ni NRM romber ki dano mia ngwen nup kati ki dano Pierre Boro no nuba ye dong madong tina Mario ena ye dong romu yero leader of opposition pien teacher leader of opposition ena ye leader, teach pa opposition, ena ye me beru, kamino gamente checks and wait, neno ba, pe tim kuman, ena we gamente ma wa kan ma war ma beni, ma pe ku ho duan yeni, ki date duan yeni. Inero ber ni tie lok mo ma gen wen wi gi ratere ye, ki we neno ba, wachat wachibol kui loke. An bene kedi anati opposition, ginen in rate. And an kedi anati gamente, ginen in rate. You know, I'm saying that in governments like these in the Western world, even if you're in the opposition, there are certain things that will sound good for you to vote for. You know, it's not always that you are opposing, you're fighting against each other. Sometimes there are certain things that will click that are of importance to the people that you will take attention to and say, you know what, I'm going to vote yes on this because it affects everyone. It is not about me being in the opposition. It is about collectively the good of everyone. So this guy thinking that he's going to appoint a leader of opposition, again, they're going to break the rules. Again, it is not the right thing to do. Again, he's going to fail. I'm for this Muhoozi person because he's driving that ship to a wreck. And any day now, any day, it's getting there. Any day. Everything he has done is documented. It's going where it should be. Okay? You know, all these arrests, even if it is diversion, I'm telling you, it's piling up. Ugandans are getting shaped like iron. Hot iron is shaping up to where it's supposed to be. So whatever Muhoozi you are doing or planning, please hurry it up. Keep it up because you are surely wrecking your father and wrecking your gap and wrecking all of your people. I'm for it. So keep it up. Pick up Miria Matembe, pick up. Because Miria Matembe, if she is arrested by Muhoozi, let me tell you what that triggers. That's a wrecking ball because Miria Matembe is not a joke. Mama Miria Matembe has been and has connections and has relationships beyond Uganda. She has spoken about these Muhoozi people doing this and that and the other. Very often she's published internationally. If indeed this happens to her, and I don't wish any harm to her, I hope that she does not get where, you know, it doesn't get as bad as her losing her life. But I'm just saying that I want you to see with me the power of what this Muhoozi is doing and costing their family and costing their government. Miria Matembe is not a joking matter. Everything she has said will be adjudicated by what this Muhoozi man is attempting to do, whether it be diversion or not. It is right where it should be. It is right. Uganda is at the verge of becoming something new. And until these guys do what they're supposed to do, we will not get there. Jesus had to be killed to arrive at his destination. Can you believe that? Atia wachi, jami ma Muhoozi gitika temone kuberi chawani. Kono omaka nga, kono tika wona nga, kono tika temeni ni, kono ke waya gera adnita guchere odiat, kwa ngongo. Jami yani weng, tutwale makodano makilwoni Mama Miria Matembe. Gini ene dongba, kita yang ugene makosara virete ukelukere lok madani. Miria Matembe pober dan mayot. Miria Matembe logo lokom makodano ma Muhoozi makoni maduanta. Kache Muhoozi dong tika time kumane ko Miria Matembe. Joma wako, joma winyu loka Miria Matembe. Lok matika kati wako, oberwata rara dongba ikifunguo kikofulu. Ineano? So, in ana chwako gina jale tika temone pian, dano ma bene pe par pia nyim, dano ma pe taun pia nyime, dano ma wiepe o ni neno, gine ni ka temu chigi man kumacha abutime. No, he does not think that far. He's very reactionary, so he thinks that by doing these things, he's shutting people up. Let me tell you, Muhoozi, your father started by, when National Unity Platform came up, I remember when I started following and joining the party, Bobby Wine had been arrested in Arua. That was my trigger, okay? And since then, I have grown into this. It used to be that I'd look over things from Uganda and say, my God, what's going on here? What's happening here? What's happening here? But like Sheikh Chiti said, that what these people do make us something else. Ugandans abroad have a different view of Uganda as a country because what we can compare, what we see, the details of all of it, the future of all of it, the impact of it, we can see and we can tell, and we appreciate Uganda in a very different way. Absolutely different way. So what Muhoozi is trying to do to Mrs. Ministry of Gender, the Minister of Gender, it will come back to me. It reminds me of when they arrested Sarah Virete, Dr. Sarah Virete. That was impactful. So I support what he does because it is only good for Uganda. Only good for Uganda. It will make many more of us. Muhoozi thought by arresting all national unity platforms, there wouldn't be others. But somehow our hearts have broken from afar that we have decided to come out and say things like this and speak up. Every day that I don't say anything or encourage or do this and that, I feel half full. That is what these people have made of me. Imagine how many of me are out there. We are several. Atia wachi jami majoni tika temune kom down ma aki Uganda ni. Tika weko twin down tika dogo tek. Tika loko twin down tika kelu gimo kui twin down my cheng mo down boponi, pedong tige no kane ma tema ma pat kiriem joni ki lobuwa. Obi oka kakenyo. Aporo ki kita yang no, kita mano pura biana wako kanyo. Loka Uganda ka nena we, John, mandok. Ento kunyoni. Chwinya paru pikwo Uganda, loyo kwa ma kwa kere kanyo. Dok gina kela ka loka enini, uberu jami matime dok, mete dok time. Pien ka dan, kano nena kita yang chon, ma beru wa lingo niwe. Dano time Museveni bebe, mo Museveni peti mubad Museveni pe wono ja Uganda. Jo ma kok ni kono Museveni utimo ngani, weng lungona. Ento man kubirichani ka lo kile mono kile gina choli kuman. Jo ma winyu le mono chwala kama mira ginu cherie. Dano ma winyu lo kama tie ma sharing gina ma pola ta duanta. Meno weng meneno ni Uganda ni wango loke. So gina Muhoozi te atemuneni o miero tem piana winyi dano chalo jalme magene Gaddafi me Libyani. A winyi wore no dong pedong la meri we down bene. So kori tim magitika timoneni o miero timme wunungeni Yesu no miero to ka wego o igene ikaber maleng. Wunungeni Yesu plan maruba yu pi Yesu no ni wang mauto ka cherbor wone. Ungai kumeno. So gien ma joni tika timoneni we gitika kelo Uganda manyen. Kari ni ngo. Kori mako down ma kitika timne lobo weng tika nene en keru we keri kiwachi ber diversion we lobo weng neno Uganda chikeru tiki kuman what your neighbor lukenya kacha kiwa eto wun Uganda taba ki winyu lokom Uganda ki wora down ma neno video na kanwe pena ngeu ni chura kar chura pien yang ni ngata no loko gimope Museveni oberi wai ena ye leader madong loyo. Wunke go yang manaka ngech. No jo ma wako chala America kanyo ki wai Museveni ena dong la gwak gene. Peacekeeper in East Africa. Ni ena yo kelo kuch i East Africa. Wun baro ngeni gen bena no ki logo lok ki kono ni gena ye kelo kuch. Kun manaka Museveni obin manaka Museveni no puya donye igena ike Jami matimme yangchon wakuberichani fu timme. Anga mo berla timbal mapia Museveni udonike. Anga matika medekiti mubal. Evidence chadena tinga chel. En Museveni achel lo. Ena yo toro gamente mukaro. Ena yo fonyeki gamente po bore. Ena yo bieno bitoro amin. Ena ye do bieno dong meda dong kikwa matera Uganda ni. Ena kiwaye Museveni ukelu kuch ko. Museveni manaka yang ena ye la won jo Uganda. And managa. Jana ni luum, down mau toy karma, government lock. Wang teacher Museveni. Pian amin wachi ba? Anka wa luen ki Johnny, chi down butoma pole. And I mean don't all dege don't chair gam lutiana kimone. Gicharu kere kwene. It's Saudi Arabia. Kamado talk at Ben Museveni pe meta ki dukwa liele Uganda ne. Inano. Kono ene down we give poor history. Kono wange ni jali anywhere. Do o kamadong pero mudugu chen. Museveni dong perotia. Lo mwa kanyo giwachi Museveni peacekeeper. Karman ena ye chair di lum kacha. Chair chi gone down kitunga cha. Kadak dugu wai aido chair chi go. Engara cello. Lobo weng no pepa no peta bene pe wini loke ke wai kok. Kok Museveni kok kenyu. Down mori Museveni duan. Da mati wa kanyo. Joma don Uganda don winyu ke kombi. Kape ring Museveni. Tereti ki Museveni. Wangma kwoni ren. I'm saying if you work with Museveni, there is no guarantee for your life. There is none. Let's move on to Janet Museveni. Today seems like a Memorial Day, according to me, because I know she's not there. Several things point to several edited or fake, indicators that this minister is still alive. She's not anywhere. But the fact that we don't have a different minister of education is the main problem. I don't care if Janet is here or not. Janet is incapacitated whether she's here or not. She's not qualified for the job anymore. We need a minister of education for Uganda to move along. We need a minister of education. You must, and we must all put up a front. We need a minister of education. We have not seen Janet for over 4 months. Whether she's alive or not, if she's alive, she's incapacitated to be a minister because of her absence for so long. If she's not here, the more reason there must be another minister of education. Atia wachi, minister Megan Kwan Makiloni Janet Museveni. Kwane dongpe, eno peke biwajiba, piengi luo ni Ugandans, jome Uganda chwin gibu beri yom. Bedonke yigoro. Tiye garmani mo chal makikero memorial stone. En makikero kwen wilieli. Makikero chala jana diye. Tiye tika lagim social media kenyo. Inano. Keri Janet, keri kwa netie. Minister ngo maberu pe. Letiano chaka kwan, gang kwan yape, lutiano mwani kineroge, onyumge, kono ngo time. Minister makata kidoge pe gene. Po katika wachugimoke ken ni minister me gang kwan. Minister ngo kilwoni absent. Makome peni. Okay. Keketi kome lera. Ka kome let. Adeda eneni. Due adido rom disqualification. Madongi wachi gene we don't choy ruju kiket donga rukane. Mena yo mati mamiara kitim kere gene ni. Kano peku menu ka dong Janet kwone otumwako. Johnny kanene no pegi meru le witch. Me we ko wan wal bente ki loka Janet kwango. Omier dong pai wakuberishawa ni dong kikero minister mukene. Keri no dong rom wachi mama tika yue kwa ngo keri kenyu. No giromo ketunga tukane. Ento kuberichani jome Uganda miero neni upenyu pi minister Megan Kwan mukene. Pien eni ni dongwe. Kari kometie penen kono ta any reason mamierengo kiket kere minister mukene. So continue the demand. You deserve a minister of education who is alive and well and active in the front of education. Education is one of the most powerful things for a country, especially the young generation, for which Uganda is 85%, over 75% youth and young. 18 to 25 is the biggest age group in Uganda. You need a minister of education. You need a minister of education, not an absentee minister. Alive or not, it has been long enough that we have had no physical minister of education, and it's time for change. We need a replacement. I'm going to speak about the issue of Noop IPOD. I understand they are demanding that His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu appoints somebody. No, they are arguing that His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu himself comes out and signs the. Oh, is that too much? Comes up and signs the letter to join the IPOD in Uganda. Let me tell you, and that IPOD thing has been a trap that they have used a few times. What is wrong with them joining their IPOD and doing what they need to do with their IPOD? Must Noop join this IPOD of theirs? Must Noop join this IPOD? Okay, if they won't allow Mama Lina Zedriga to perform, why are they then concerned about having National Unity Platform president come and be there physically? This is a man who the guy wants to kill. Apparently, they're discussing some sort of negotiation. What are they negotiating for when His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu won the election fair and square? There is no room for negotiation there. There is nothing Museveni can do that will make Kyagulanyi Ssentamu whole as the president of Uganda, except vacating that seat. These opposition people voted for Museveni. Mpuga voted for Museveni. Norbert Mao voted for Museveni. Basa Alirwa is a briefcase party. A peasant party, I think maybe had one or two, whatever. Mugisha Muntu doesn't care if he wins or loses any land about it. So why are they lumping a major opposition party to all these useless groups that work for Museveni? IPOD has always been bait that Museveni uses to maintain his opposition. As I said, all previous opposition work for Museveni, all of them. That is why they all hold ministerial positions in Museveni's government. All the ministers, all the party members, they hold positions in the parliament. In Museveni's government. UPC, wife and husband were both ministers. Both party members, executives, wife and husband, both in there. Atia wachik glock me IPOD enini. Museveni tika teach kere me mako Bobby Wine. Me nero ni Bobby Wine dugu Uganda wek any mare. Petie gimo madong bar with Museveni loyo Bobby Wine beru wako. Pian Museveni chako lo cheke wako. Tie vidi money ma en tika waka kere bod la dir me lo me America makeloni Ronald Reagan. Tika wachu nani ine anwe wunu donyo ka gonu Gaddafi kunyoni. Ana beri ka gonu Gaddafi manaka yang aminti gamente. Aber ka gono Gaddafi. Pian Gaddafi ber ka chwalu monye bora min me konya min kilwan kere komwa. Aber manaka yang antika gono Gaddafi. Tika wake kun waju ki la dirlobo me America ikare eno kilwani Ronald Reagan. Neno. IPOD anyway. Museveni neno ni yoma enromo luong kere Bobby Wine biro ka ikelu Uganda. Kade timu gimama raji kome. Piano wachi tuare nego Bobby Wine. Gimo mo kerne kono Uganda uprising kwa ngone eni dong enrom tijie ento no ke neko Bobby Wine wota Museveni jui wachi amero neko Bobby Wine amero kwanyu we Bobby Wine amero temo chi dok tika luongo Bobby Wine ni ubini IPOD ni gubini IPOD pa Museveni gini ina rate man Bobby Wine uchoy warga wunu ngeni president kuberichani matia tiji National Unity Platform makilwoni Mama Zedriga ni Oberu down ma Bobby Wine yer maucho waraga party kun wajini eni nilawa gimoke ken ma eno botemu ana ye no again no gina an bero no abitemu kan no ati position eni man ku berichani Museveni giti akwaro gena ko gitika kwaro gena ko Mama Zedriga ko giwati Bobby Wine obino signing kartachi eni gibola nga. Who are they trying to lie to? We know that IPOD is bait. Museveni, his biggest dream is to have Bobby Wine in his hand or buried with a gravesite that he can point to. That's Museveni's dream. That is Muhoozi's dream. He cannot challenge Bobby Wine. Therefore, he wants him dead and buried somewhere that he knows where he buried him. I don't know if he'll make him coffee and drink him somehow every day. Something. That guy is freaky. You see that? So IPOD cannot be a valid position because the rightful winner of the election was His Excellency Jacob Oulanya Sentamu. Ngamolo kui 2026 en dwema cheleni uberu Bobby Wine. Pingo Museveni kadong miru ni lokeno pie po kwan ke ume ki Bobby Wine. That would solve the problem. Ene no ka kwanyo timo ger kakare. Lok dong birpe. Ento man kimiti Bobby Wine or being in any position, opposition fake. He wants Bobby Wine in that fake opposition. That is why you see in Kalangala, only National Unity Platform and NRM are vying against each other like this. Because the other oppositions work for Museveni. Besigye worked alongside Museveni, maintained Museveni in power for 20 whole years. Talk about a betrayal of Uganda or Ugandans. Besigye knew that Museveni was a Rwandese, a foreigner. Besigye was Museveni's doctor in the bush. I'm talking, this guy knew all these things. But now, Besigye is in prison, supposedly in prison, scotch-free, okay, compared to Eddie Mutwe's appearance in prison. Eddie Mutwe lost fingers, clipped off with pliers. Eddie Mutwe was beaten to almost death. Eddie Mutwe is paralyzed. Eddie Mutwe has severe nerve damage. All these things. But Besigye is in a suite in Luzira, visited frequently, enjoying life. He probably leaves the country and spends vacations, then comes back for court days. It's possible. I don't doubt that. Somebody from his area, hometown, went to visit Besigye. He did not announce. He just said, you know what, I'm in town. Let me swing by Luzira and go see my friend. When he arrived there, they told him, guy, do not bring your comedy here. Besigye is not here. Don't come around here trying to look for Besigye. He's not here. Imagine the prisoner is not in prison. And the prison's guard is the one telling the visitor to vacate the place because those are games that he should not mind about joining or participating in. Just basically saying that Besigye's here and there is controlled by the Musevenis. Besigye is not a criminal to Museveni. They were trying to bring Besigye's validity back to make him that great opposition. Let me tell you, if Besigye, in fact, ASP said something about this today, had Besigye been genuine, had Besigye and Bobby Wine made a collaboration and wrote this opposition thing all the way to now, Besigye would be in our prayers in honor for the rest of his life. Had he done the right thing, Besigye and all his offsprings and everything Besigye, we would all have a picture of Besigye in the house next to the president because he would have been a liberator. But no, they are all funded by Museveni. They are comfortable. They don't get dirty. You know, you have seen how Bobby Wine is handled. He's sprayed tear gas, he's beaten. They've shot him with a canister. I mean, this guy has gone through so much trying to liberate Uganda compared to even Museveni coming to power. Compared. Right now, Bobby Wine is the politician who has lost just about everything. All his land titles are in Museveni's house. All his children's, all his assets are in Museveni's house. And when the Lukwagos and Serekos come out and open their mouths, you wonder. They've lost nothing. Nothing. So, loka IPOD enini, ka Bobby Wine wachi anameti Dr. Lina Zedriga ayeotiek lock ma bieno board president when ngoma gen Johnny ye. Piano do choyo. Appointment letter dong la dirlo bo choyo. Bobby Wine choyo wachi Mama Lina Zedriga oberu an Kagimotie mamiera tim, kamama timo, no dotum. Bobby Wine has officially designated Mama Lina Zadriga as the president in action right now. She's as good as him. If they're demanding his appearance, then now you know they have their agenda. And that has always been the case. This IPOD thing has been bait, and is still bait to today. They want to ring him in, get him close, and do something to him. But they won't. Oulanya is miles ahead compared to these people. Gina giti ataman anyway, pero mo timme. Gina Bobby Wine utimu imwaga pa anyway. Loyo gina besi jegote mu mwaga piera diki wieni. Dok Museveni bingwenye wie la benaga. Why la cho money no bibina. We will. So demand a minister of education, because Uganda deserves an active minister of education. We are paying Museveni from the ministry for an absentee wife or a dead wife. No. Taxpayers' money should not go to paying for a graveyard or a gravestone. No. No. And this plan of bringing Mpuga to become the president, the leader of opposition, will not work either. Those of you who are trying to change the constitution to say that the leader of opposition can be appointed this, that, and the other, the law is clear. That is why they call him the leader of opposition. They lead the leading opposition group in parliament. Joel Senyonyi is the best guy for the job. End of story. Only His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu can appoint a leader of opposition, not DDG, not the drunk. No. Muhoozi has no powers to appoint. Since when is the CDF the one who should appoint a leader of opposition? How does he become concerned with with issues of parliament? CDF, who is supposed to be commanding troops, when are they concerned? I mean, I don't even know publicly, like I don't know physically, or I don't frequently see the US military generals. They're not parading like this guy. You will hear about a mission that is exceptionally done or something because something happened. Then you'll know that, oh, the chief of blah, blah, chief of staff, so chief of this. That's when you'll hear about that. Ilo mawa kan down makiloni CDF. Pebene romu ngenu ne. Pebene ngewa nye. Pien pegi papa ta ki teach. Teach pa CDF uberu teach. Madore kom doro lumonye. Pe teach me parliament. CDF penge check. CDF teacher pe teacher check. No. CDF teacher uberu teach. Mati mon kacha. Ni jalwe commander kwa ngao. Chero sitem gimani. Menu teacher CDF. Transfer kwa ngangagi. Mene ni kawa win no win mabe. Ento man CDF mete ena ye dwa chuvaria. Ena ye bed la mock check. Ena ye bed la ye opposition. Ena ye bed la chat la kwa nyugi. Ena ye bed la kwa diang. Ena ye bed la makrech. Ujone. This CDF person is in the wrong place. He has no business being in parliament. No. I have never seen this type of CDF. In the US, we have several. You will only hear them when they've done great things. Great things. That's when they'll come up in the media. They'll be honored. You know, the news will honor them and all of this, even to avoid exposure, because you never know who the enemies are. They are a special group of people with very high respect and dignity. Not like this one, who is the one digging up the toilet, the same one who is arresting so-and-so, the same one who is choosing a leader of opposition, the same one who is fishing in Lake Victoria, the same one who is violating NEMA rules and laws. I mean, this guy is busy. Muhoozi should not bully you. Muhoozi is a CDF just because he's his father's son, not by qualification. It doesn't give him the rights to anything. Yes, he's the leader of PLU. PLU is nothing. It's not a party. It's not an opposition. It's not the NRM. It's not anywhere. So let's not be worried about this guy. Everything he does definitely helps the struggle. Everything this guy does helps the struggle propel forward. Please go and catch Madam Miria Matembe, and then you'll see sparks. Catch Joe Senyonyi, and you will see. You will see. Everything he does, Sheikh Chiti said, it molds us to the right direction, and it costs them a lot more. A lot. These are people who cannot eat and enjoy food. They cannot sleep and sleep sound. They cannot dress and look good. They cannot go out and enjoy something. He's guarded everywhere he goes. The whole family lives in fear. Who are they fearing? His Excellency Jacob Oulanya sent him. Because any day now he's coming back. Why would you live like that? Where is the prize in that life? Where? So just know that whatever they're doing, they're having it worse. And we are getting where we need to be. Remember, Jesus had to die to get to his destination. It is not how it will happen to us because we are not divine. But just so you know, it is not the worst. Okay? Stay blessed. I love you. Apoyo. Ubed mabe. Jome majali tika temoneni weng. Tika keluanyim ya loga me Uganda. Obe biano, obe o. Kono merma kumiria, kono merma kanga. Wako mak gio weng. Bien, wilobo tika nenone. Yang no ke waroge, kuberi chane we, tero tuju we gimoni. Petie wo mo ke ken majoni tie kere. Kagi chamu dek be peke yeng, kagi bor be peke neno, kagi roka bena ki neno tata, Johnny ti kwa ma ding ma tek dong loyo. Ian oli ko chamu dek pori. Ke cham gi dek ngoni ki moya, na tie be. Johnny pe dek pe pori gi. Peke rom wot ken gi. Cha weng no gi tiki plan me security na machel. Kono kej nego, kono mer chercholon, concern na machel ena security. I'm saying in actually that their main concern is security. Whether they have diarrhea right now, they are hungry, they are sick, whatever is going on, their main concern is security. Our main concern is peace of mind. I think we're better off. Okay? I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great day, great night, great evening, whatever the time is for you. I love you. Take care. Bye.